It is Monday. Is it Monday night? I think it's Monday night. God, I slept a lot today, and I had to ask my older children, which I never do, never, to watch the little ones because I had done a lot yesterday, and this physical recuperation from surgery is kicking my ass. But anyway, my last vlog was absolutely like, I mean, self-empowerment's wonderful and everything, but I don't tend to stay in the gloom and doom for very long. Sometimes you just need to get out the anger and the frustration and everything else you kind of experience just to, so it's not inside, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a motivational speaker. All that, you know, better out than it. I have no idea, but something I've been thinking about a lot today, which makes me cry, honestly, it's so ridiculous, is that I guess when something hurts, you look at the bad things about it so that you can kind of cope with losing the good. And maybe that's a defense mechanism. I'm pretty sure it is. But I have to make decisions, going forward in my life. I mean, I was pretty invested in moving on. I mean, just because Jamie and I don't want to be at war with each other, and it seems like we do really, really well with being parents and being friends and getting on with the daily stuff of life. But whenever we try to add in emotions or us being partners, it's just awkward and weird, And maybe that's why people get divorced, because even when they become their very best selves, after all the, I don't know, grinding down of the crap that's within all of us, we get it all out, and then we become people that if we would have met at this point, we would really like each other, but there's so much baggage and you can't get past it. I mean, it even comes down to like a physical response of your body not being able to respond to that person because you've just been hurt so much, and it feels weird and awkward, and it feels more weird and awkward than with a stranger. But there's good things, and I need to focus on that as I move forward. The good things from my marriage and the good things that I learned pursuing a relationship as an adult, which I know that's probably weird to most people. It's probably weird to most people that you, like, especially now that we'll stay married in order to go to Australia and stay as a family, but I find that odd that some people don't think it's weird to have a baby or live together not married, but it's weird to live married and not be like at each other's throat or pursuing some sort of legal separation while you figure your life out. And to us, that's the most healthy thing for our children, is to stay together. And I've had people ask me, why would you move to a different country if you're going to get divorced or you're going to be stranded? No, we're not like that. We're not these kind of people that are going to take the kids away from each other or try to screw each other. We know that we've made a family together, and that our the things we bring to the family, we have to keep intact, and that may mean a lot of different things as we move forward in life. We don't have to be romantically involved in order to know we're parents together. And it is a little weird. It's a little weird thinking about him being with somebody else, and I think what bothers me the most about that is he'd be his best self, and that person would never see the hell I went through. So they're thinking, oh, why would you leave this great guy? It's like, well, the reason that he's great is because of all the shit we went through and that he corrected, and I had to get through the hard parts and work with him and go through that. So, and it's the same for me, I had to grow up. I had to get to this place, and I think that is actually what I have always made the comment that if I was widowed or divorced, I would never ever date or do anything like that, because my children are more important to me. And I was always fearful that if I brought anybody into my life, they would want to compete with my children, or they would want to step into a place that wasn't theirs. They be the father. And that to me was disrespectful of Jamie, and I don't want that even moving forward. I don't need a father for my children. So that was always on the back burner. No matter what was happening in my life, I would never date. I'll be celibate like a monk or something, and just, collect cats or something. I don't know what I was thinking. So that's kind of what this vlog is about, is the good things about the person that I met. And that they didn't want to step in. I mean, one of the things this person always told me, and let me preface this by saying, I don't know how much was real. That's what's really hurting me right now, is that if this person was everything they said they were perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. It's knowing that half of it was bullshit, and that's the hard part, is having been handed this thing, it's everything you wanted. And I don't mean it was perfect. This person wasn't perfect, and I certainly don't expect perfect because I'm not perfect. But it was, if I could craft like an ideal partner, not even in terms of what they look like, but the way that I felt and the things I got from it, it was perfect. And that was the first thing, is the respect for my husband and that he was my children's father, that there was no stepping in and being the dad. There was being a friend. There was being, another adult to come to if you needed something, but never to usurp Jamie's authority in their life. That was super important to me. And when I saw that, that kind of opened me up to the possibility that perhaps I could, if my marriage ended, have a romantic relationship and not be lonely for the rest of my life. I'm a, flesh and blood human. I do want to have that. And then the second drawing factor was that I was allowed, or not allowed, I hate that word, like that assumes permission, but I was respected in my intelligence, not just what I look like any given day or anything like that. Like I could be involved in world issues and really have a passionate response to them and speak about them, married with being able to laugh at silly things. It seems like there's two extremes. There's some people that take nothing seriously, and there's people that take things too seriously, and I am like squarely right in the middle. I really, really care about certain things, but at the end of the day, I have to laugh and know that the real empowerment in living in this world is doing what you can, what you actually can. You have to like hone in on what your heart issues are and give your 100% to that, because you can't do everything. You can't be involved in every cause and in every, crisis that's out there. You have to give the most of yourself that you can in a concentrated effort, but and at the end of the day too, if you haven't enjoyed your life, you're just, adding to the misery of the planet. You have to laugh. You have to find humor in things. And that's something I found in this person, is that serious, serious, serious. And then all of a sudden, crack a joke and you're both laughing until you're crying. And I had never had that. It was so refreshing to actually speak from my heart about the things that really, truly bothered me on this planet, and that they understood. So there was that. And this is something I always say a lot. I wanted to feel like the girl. I didn't want to feel like the masculine presence in my relationship. I wanted to be able to cry over something stupid and just be held, or I couldn't physically be held, but you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be okay and not have to have it fixed. Just to be hurt for a little bit, be crazy, and be a girl. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that, as be a girl. So all these things were going on before we met one another. We could talk about anything, and we talk for hours. Things that were really important to me, and I could say, I can't talk right now. I have to, deal with my children. And that was a respect for me as a mother. That's hugely important to me, because that is my absolute most important role. And not just the basics of changing diapers and feeding mouths, like stopping and explaining something, especially for my little ones, how to treat one another, how to treat people on the planet, all that stuff. We aligned with perfectly. And I will say, I flew in. It was really nerve-wracking to meet somebody for the first time, because this was my guide in Australia, the person that was going to, take me places and kind of get me around. And thank God for that, because like when Eli got sick, I didn't know where to go or what to do, and I had to actually go get a tick removed there. So there was all that going on, and I had a beautiful time there. I really did. We flew in, and this person was working and couldn't pick us up. So what we did is we had a rental car. We loaded all our luggage into that, and then we took a taxi to like a small kind of hotel just to get rested up for the day. And this person like walked in the hotel, and it was like I had known them my entire life. It was the weirdest. I have never had that with anybody. And that's kind of like solidified. It's real. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. It was worth, no matter what we had to go through. And the way he treated Eli was really, really nice. I mean, really kind of, drew him in and talked to him like he needed to be talked to. I don't like my children being talked down to. They're very intelligent. If you can draw out Eli especially, you have some sort of special skill set, because he's very quiet. But so he walked in, and I like knew him. Like, I can't explain it. So that just kind of added to, the little fairy tale situation going on. And we had to drive for like 2.5 solid hours to get to his mother's house out in the country because I flew into Brisbane. And just that car ride, it was magic. I don't know how else to explain it. It was dark. We just talked, and kind of glanced at each other, but it was not weird at all. Like at all, I could completely, totally give him shit just like I would my kids. It was so weird. There was nothing awkward, even a little bit. In the kitchen, we just sort of flowed together because we would cook together, and do that a couple times, and you didn't even have to ask. It was just so odd. And there was none of this primping crap where you pretend like I woke up like this. You know what I mean? My first, I guess we fly on a Friday, and then Saturday morning he got up and he's making breakfast, and I'm in the kitchen doing my makeup. I didn't even care. Like it wasn't like I had to put on any kind of airs at all, none at all. That was amazing and awesome. And Eli was there the whole time, so I don't mean to paint some picture like we were, all shacking up or anything, like nothing like that. But then he took me to see his grandmother, and that was awesome. And he bought me this little key plaque thing that I had admired in a shop and didn't tell me. He surprised me, and I usually hate surprises. It was just sweet. It was like, this is like minute little gesture, and that was good. And I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time tonight. You can see that I have my band on extremely tight because it feels like I've done a million sit-ups and you can't get any relief from the feeling. So it kind of takes your breath away if you're talking too much. So, and then we had this whole week where we went and looked at things and saw things and did things, just laughed, talked, hung out, and it was so easy. And I just remember we were watching Family Guy one night, and I had never seen Family Guy ever, and I laughed so hard. I was probably snorting and acting like, a complete idiot, and he's over there sitting with Eli, and I just caught his eye, and he's looking at me like, you're crazy. And he was delighted in that. Like, the times when I act like a complete ass, he looked like it just completely amused him and delighted him, and I thought, that's what I want for the rest of my life. I want somebody to see me in my most, non-cute moments and think that I'm cute. Like, that's a big deal to me. That's not, well... And Jamie's trying so hard to get away from this, but that is my personality. I get really, really tickled by stuff, and I'll just laugh and laugh and laugh, and the kids get laughing at me. And for the longest time, Jamie would have that bitter look on his face, like he's being excluded for something. Like, why are you happy? He always been really jealous of my happiness, no matter what it was, And he would find a way to dampen it for me, and this other person didn't. Anything that lit me up, he saw it and wanted me to continue it. And there was like a constant source of encouragement until he stopped getting the same from me, until it started being hard, and I think got scared and couldn't deal with the reality of what he had done. But anyway, sometimes my personality traits, he liked them when I applied them to other people, but not to him. And you don't do that. You don't have one set of rules for one person and another. And I'm examining all this not to be sad. It does make me a little sad. There's a few key moments, from all that make me just, whew, I think the thing that I'm kind of working through right now is why I can experience that and it not be real. So many people say love's an action, and I absolutely believe that. But you don't take two strangers off the street and throw them in a marriage and just say, hey, act like you love each other to be okay. There has to be some kind of connection. Or it's just, what's the point? I don't get that. There has to be something that attracts you to another. And what hurts the most is knowing I could have felt that. Was it based on anything real? Did he really feel it? I don't know the answers to these questions. And I wonder if is that it? In life out there, do you actually meet somebody that you'll connect with that and it'll be like a long haul thing? And I don't mean to romanticize, and I know that people argue and they fight and people get sick, and you don't see each other at each other's best, but that was true. Like we went through, Eli getting really completely sick, being there, and real life stuff, and still just being a team and working together. And I kind of saw that being my future. Like, that's what I wanted, that dynamic that I had, whether it was real or not, whether he was not being a genuine person, whatever it was, whatever I experienced, I still do want that in my life. I absolutely want it. I think I've attached it to it, or I did in the past attach it to this person, and I don't know if that can. Jamie and I have talked a lot about, can that be applied to our marriage? Can we get that back? We've tried, guys. Oh my God, we have tried absolutely every damn thing under the sun. And yes, we've been to counseling a hell of a lot. And it doesn't work if you don't do the stuff that people say. And also, if there's abusive patterns in a marriage, traditional counseling doesn't work because, and I don't think of abuse like beating each other up. Jamie's never done that to me, but there's a set series or a set pattern of behavior that he uses to get what he wants from me that is not good for me. That's how I define abuses. It's not good for me to be exposed to the kind of treatment I get in order to get me to act a certain way. I should be able to say and do things and not suffer the repercussions I do, but that's a whole nother story. I just have a hope for the future that what I did experience and all the good parts of it, and there were many, and I don't know which is real and which isn't. I want to have that again. I absolutely do. And I don't know if it's even possible. I mean, I know people that have remarried and been sublimely happy, but I don't know if they'll have my dynamic because everybody that I know that's been sublimely happy also hates their ex, and I won't do that. Jamie will always be in my life. He'll probably always live very, very close. Like, we're not even going to split the kids, so I'm sure that's a really hard pill for somebody to swallow. You know, you have to get past jealousy, but I'd hope somebody that can look at two parents that have been together 19 years, if there was going to be anything to be jealous of, it would have already, saved the marriage. You know what I mean? Makes no sense. I mean, just because I admire him as a person or a father or in his career doesn't necessarily mean he's competition for anybody, But that's in the long haul. It's in the long haul. Because I don't foresee me getting involved with anybody anytime soon. And we would definitely, if that really was a thing, if that was really a thing, I would have been divorced from Jamie now. In case you guys are wondering what the hell with that, had I had to been with this other person, Jamie and I would have had to legally been separated, and he would have actually had to sign papers to sponsor this person to come over here as my fiance. So it would have all been, and I know that sounds weird, but that's how Jamie and I roll. Like, I wasn't going to get involved with somebody without him knowing the person and getting along with them. Maybe that's crazy, but that would be a person he'd have to interact with on a regular basis, and he would also have to trust that that person interacting with his children was okay. So yes, I involved him, when it became time to, and he was. So it was kind of weird when it was all over, because then Jamie wanted to comfort me and rescue me and do all that, and for a little bit I kind of let him. But it doesn't replace what I was missing, because the whole reason that we were in the state we were, and I won't say that we were open to dating, nothing like that. I would not have ever gone out on a physical date with a person locally or anything like that. I was just getting to know somebody through text and talking, just like what they do with courtship with, the patriarchal Christian families. It was more like that. It wasn't a physical thing. So, me being pregnant, it was just weird. I mean, we really should have had our own reality TV show. But I'm blabbering on and on and on to, I guess the main message is I got a lot from it. I want to be treated the way that I was maybe fake treated. I don't even know the right wording, but I do want to feel that way again. It was very, very lovely and nice. And had the story ended better, it would have been a beautiful one, across the oceans, and two people that met and clicked. And I don't know the person's reasons for doing what they did, if they just got scared and ran away. Maybe I don't comprehend that because I'm not that kind of person. I'm like full on, like, charge in. I won't give up. And no matter what it takes, I don't give up. And I wouldn't have given up, even though it was hard, even though I was pissed off, even though there was a lot going on here. It was coming to fruition. It was getting so close, and I don't have the answers. And I've talked to a few of my friends, especially in Australia. I may never have the answers. Maybe I will. Maybe they'll only be from me. But I do know that as time goes on, I'm finding a little more clarity in the bad stuff and the good. More about who I am and what I want. And maybe I won't find it. I really don't know. I think the important thing is to be okay with not knowing. That's where you really have to get to. I'm not there yet. Out there, I have so many things I want to know, but I know that if I knew more, it would just hurt me. So I just kind of sit on it and let myself miss the person when I want to miss the person, and be so completely angry when I want to be completely angry. And I do it all in my own head, do it all on my own. Don't, when I'm out with Jamie, I message him. I got it kind of all out today, but it's like a growing process, I guess. It just, when you're younger, you feel like at this age you'll have all your shit together. And at this point, now that I'm in the middle of my life, I'm pretty damn sure you don't figure it out until about 5 seconds before you're dead, if that. I don't think there's such a thing as arriving at, total self-wisdom. It's not. It's just learning a little bit more every day. And it's almost kind of exciting, actually, because, I don't know, probably around my early 30s, I thought, this is it. This is my life. And you settle in and you think that's it. And then when you finally realize it's not over, something big can happen. Something really huge can happen in your life and just change the entire course of it. And meeting this person, that kind of gave me that perspective. The whole course could change. You can fall in love and, be giddy and feel like a teenager again. Or I never got to be a teenager. That's another story for another blog. I was a grown-up long before I should have been a grown-up. And, yeah, so that's my thoughts tonight. There's good stuff. There's very good stuff. And there will keep being good stuff. I just got to keep on waking up each morning and experiencing this crazy thing called life, and hope I don't do it alone for the whole entire rest of it.